Hey guys, and welcome to Fluffed Up, episode 4.
We're already on 4?
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
we really are. And you know, I think I already figured out the title for this week's episode. It all ended with us calling the cops. Or was it us dealing with the cops?
Well, that's one of the stories that's going to be up.
The other is the other possible one is we destroy the DJ booth. And the third is Chewy can't work a camera. Each of these is a event that has happened within the last 2 weeks. Mostly, like literally the day of the last podcast, stuff happened.
Can I start this one off because I was the external person at this?
You can explain to the best of your knowledge how my forgetfulness caused us to go on the wackiest adventure I've ever had.
So, I will say that our travels, our goings are very legendary.
When we go somewhere, people always get some weird photos.
We got done recording the last podcast, and we
sent Atty home because she needed to go home for a party.
Yeah, so Atty we took home, and we were going to do other things. And you got a call from who?
Maddie, saying that she wanted some McDonald's.
Oh yeah, that's right. So we went to McDonald's, got coffee.
And food.
Yeah, it did print your receipt at the kiosk too.
Yeah, when we went through the kiosks there. Which I've only learned recently we're told not to do because they have a lot of fecal matter on them, apparently.
Well, on that one, maybe by the bathrooms. But,
possibly. That's probably one you shouldn't use.
But the other one's probably fine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so, like...
Receipt didn't print. Took forever to get food. And, like, the 2 coffees that people wanted.
Yeah, and my phone was also dying, so I was in the corner just waiting with my phone charger plugged in.
Eating 2 McChickens, right?
2 McChickens and 2 McDoubles. I did get just 2 McChickens that time.
Because then we went to Jimmy John's, where I work at. Dropped off coffee for my fiance Scarlett and some of the other coworkers there, and then he bought a sandwich.
Big John. And
then from there, we're like, okay.
I also got a loaf of bread, didn't I?
Yes.
Yes. Day-old bread.
Mr. eats a bunch of day-old bread now that you know that exists.
I knew it existed for a long time.
Well, now you have a reason to come and get it. But after that, we're like, okay, we can go home now. The video's mostly rendering, so we'll be able to get it up and set up to start uploading on YouTube and get it all queued up. So we go home.
I'll take it from here. So we started editing the podcast on Chewy's computer when he gets a phone call.
From my mother.
Hey, are you coming down to the family gathering at Milwaukee Burger Company?
And I forgot.
You completely forgot.
Absolutely forgot that existed.
So, he's just like, well, I'm over.
Yeah.
What did your mother say?
He can come with.
Oh, jeez.
And I was like, yeah, they might as well meet the best man for my wedding.
And it was that line that actually made me be like,
I guilt-tripped him into going. And it was great.
While getting ready to, I was kind of packing up things.
Mm-hmm.
We were like, you know what? Maybe we can find some Christmas lights and take some photos with them. So I told them, bring your suit, just in case.
So I packed my entire suit into my car.
And I only packed my partial because that's all I had. And we made our way down towards,
Cathedrals,
well, no, we went to the Burger Company, but then after that, where is the Burger Company located again?
Burger Company was located, it's near,
was it Glendale?
Yeah, it was pretty much at the kitty corner of Glendale and Oak Creek.
Okay, yeah, because Yeah, so we went there, hung out. I was completely looking at the map that they had onto their logo.
You were really interested in that.
I was severely interested in it. Like, there's so many highways, so many names. Menominee, Wisconsin, where UW Stout is, was completely spelled wrong. I was just like, where did this come from?
This guy got way too interested in something that shouldn't matter.
Where that came from. I'll figure it out eventually.
You could probably Google it and it'll tell you. You realize that like the entirety of the internet is in that little phone that you argue with strangers on that you carry around in your pocket.
That we're yelling at right now?
Yes.
Hi, phone.
Hey, phone users. I like you the most. You should subscribe.
But yeah, so after there, we were like, okay, we can either go to the drive-through lights.
Which, in suit, why would you do that?
Yeah, just like, and it also costs $20.
Yeah.
Or, there's a holiday light show downtown Milwaukee at Cathedral
3 different
Square,
parks.
Ziegler Park, and another one which we didn't.
It was in the middle of downtown by the new Buck Stadium, but it wasn't too impressive. The other two were pretty neat. They each had something interesting to them that we saw as we could do.
So technically the park's closed at about 10, and right now it's about 9:40. It was like 9:30, 9:45. We're like, okay, we need to cruise through this to get photos before it closes.
Get it? It's like go.
So we took him out in suit.
I went out first just because we wanted to have a human handler, just because in a public situation like that we weren't sure.
Yeah, and there was some kids at the time running around, so we were like, okay, we'll just have one person at a time out in suit.
We need a handler.
So as we were doing that, you got pictures, you got hugs.
I got pictures, I got hugs, I got some good videos, I got a cute GIF that I made.
Yeah.
I had to, I wanted to post it to TikTok, but it was a 3-second GIF. So what I did was I copied it, duplicated it, and then reversed it.
Oh, geez.
So it plays forward and then backwards, but you can't tell.
Huh.
And it's really great.
That's the one with the tree, right?
Yep. I synced it all up really well.
Yeah, so we got some good photos with him, but then as we were wrapping up, we got back to the car. Oh, it's a little bit after 10. Technically, the park's closed. However...
That didn't stop anybody.
So the lights were still on.
People were still walking around.
Yeah.
Everything was operating like, guess what? It never closed.
Yeah, so we ended up switching people.
And I stayed in mostly... Usually you switch into Under Armour when you're going to fursuit. I just wore whatever I was wearing and then put my suit on over it. Yeah, and I was so comfy.
It was a cold enough night where that was something we could do.
It was great. So, like, I was just walking around taking pictures of him with my head off and, like, without a paw, and I was, like, great.
And I kept on getting attacked by these kids.
Oh, there was, like, kids that loved you. It was great.
Yeah, big bad wolf. But yeah, so that was interesting. And then we're like, well, the lights aren't done. And near Cathedral Square, we found out the new streetcar in Milwaukee is called the Hop.
Because you can hop on it.
It literally has a stop right next to where we parked at Cathedral Square.
And its final destination goes all the way down to one of the other parks that we wanted to go to.
It was a block away from the intermodal station, which is where the Amtrak resides, and that was the last streetcar stop.
So, like reasonable adults, we get on it in fursuit.
We hop on.
And the drunks loved us.
So we were going by historic Third Ward,
which is known for its bars aplenty. And with the hop being free, that's a drunk person's paradise.
And they loved our suits and stuff, and we were showing them. And they're like, "Whoa, that's so cool! Let's get some photos." And
they were the most respectful drunks I've ever met.
Yeah, they also wanted us to join them at the bars. We're like, no, I don't drink.
And then I went, I'm 20, and he's like, that's like 140 in dog years.
I was just like, wow, that was an impressive math for a drunk person.
It was probably a pretty close guess, but for a comeback, that was pretty good for a drunk guy.
That was really good. So yeah, we as they left off the third ward, we actually were talking to the last guy who was on the station. I mean, on the train. Well,
yeah.
Streetcar. And he was actually kind of cool. We got a picture with him. And he asked us, like, hey, if you can send this picture to
such and such.
A certain person, which I recorded the name of. I've been so busy I haven't been able to just look yet.
You probably should.
I mean, I intend to. Just with everything going on, it's just been like blurred.
Yeah. But we went through that. We hopped off. We walked under the overpass and all the way down to this next one. Took a bunch of pictures there. Some people took pictures of us together for us.
Yeah, so every single park has something a little bit different too. At Cathedral Square, it was all the different elementary schools decorated a tree, like that were in the Milwaukee area, or like different nonprofits.
Mm-hmm.
At Ziegler Park, they had
actual Christmas decorations.
A few things you could sit in, and then Santa's chair that was all lit up.
And it was big.
And these two people helped, like, thank them very much. They actually took our picture together while sitting in that chair. So
they were really confused, but they were all for it.
Yeah, they thought it was kind of cool. And then that's also where the season greetings pictures came from.
You might have to like make them flash on the screen.
We'll see. I don't know. You're going to be the one editing.
I don't know how to do that. If it shows up, someone taught me.
Guess what? You can learn now.
Yep. But then we went back.
But yeah, so then we headed back to the streetcar station. And we're just waiting for it to come back, which we didn't have to wait long at all.
It showed up like immediately. We had like perfect timing.
Yeah.
And then we got on with the same driver that we had because they take breaks and will hop off and another person will get on. So we end up riding with the same lady that was doing it before, and she got like super excited, and we took a selfie with her.
Yeah. And like, but even before we got on, like, I was always curious in how the streetcar worked, and we were like, "Whoa, there's wires," or I did at least.
You got excited. I was just kind of like, "Huh, neat."
Yeah, because at, like the other stations, it didn't have those wires, so.
I just figured that it just pops on or connects somewhere and charges a battery inside or something.
It seems like it does run on, like, as a hybrid or something. So
I figure it's pretty much entirely electric, just based on how it's set up.
But yeah, so anyway, after that, we got off back at Cathedral Square.
More drunk people on the ride.
Yeah.
One chick that spent all of it trying to get the perfect selfie with me.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting in the other chair recording the like out the window, and I just occasionally just look behind my shoulder, seeing Chewy getting pictures, and that was kind of funny. Because I'm just sitting over here like, okay, I'm also here too. But
well, they were all interested because I told them that I built mine.
Yeah, the fact that
and I was showing them the fact that how
them.
like my jaw mechanism works, and they're all like, well, now you got to put it on and show us. And then she wanted pictures, so it's pretty much just showing off to drunk people. It's like doing magic to them. They're always impressed.
So yeah, then we got back to Cathedral Square. I got some pictures with the cathedral. And then we desuited, and we were like, yeah, this was awesome.
This was a really weird and crazy day. It can't get much crazier than this, can it?
Well, then we ended up going the wrong way on the highway.
We didn't end up going the wrong way on the highway.
We landed over near the Port of Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, that part. Yes, I got on the highway wrong and went eastbound instead of westbound.
Now, the funny part is that this one I take blame for is, we should turn there. No, we shouldn't. And we ended up getting back on the wrong direction. So
I was like, oh, I remember going this way, and then as I took it and went up, I remembered, oh wait, I used to live in Cudahy. I don't live there anymore. I live the other way.
Well, and I was just like, aren't we supposed to turn back on there? Not realizing that was the same direction. And then we go back over this way. I'm like, oh, I can see in the distance, that's where we were supposed to get back on.
I remembered now, you're supposed to just keep driving straight and eventually it'll just kick you onto the highway. That's the point where you'd get on.
We know now. But yeah, so as we started heading back to your place.
I fixed it. I got off somewhere. You made me think I was going the wrong way. So I essentially got back on and went the exact same way we were going.
Well,
and then I finally fixed it.
But yeah, so we're on our way home. We went back over the bridge.
I fixed my issues.
And we were back on 94. And we were heading to 41.
And we were pretty much near the state fair grounds, if you know where those are.
We weren't that far yet.
Yeah, we were. That's when it happened, was we were just coming up to it.
Was that state fairgrounds?
Yeah, it was right on the side. And then I pulled off this side, and a truck was trying to get in, so I slowed down to let it get in. And then the truck, I was like, oh, I'm going to let it get in because this is a really short area for it to get in, so I slowed down to let it get in. And then it moves over the extra lanes because it's probably going to go to Chicago or Madison, and it doesn't want to be on 41 North. And suddenly it brakes really hard. And so me figuring something's wrong, I start slowing down too. And what comes out in front of it is...
So the other thing during this entire time is he's driving, I'm in the passenger seat.
And I'm monologuing.
And we're talking. And semis, because they're higher up, they get to see things way faster than we do. And this truck was just like, hold up, there's something wrong up here. Because whenever you see a semi just brake hard when there's no other cars around on the highway.
Yeah, it was pretty much empty. Think like 4 cars in total, and then these people show up.
So there was these cars on the side of the road. They both were like right by each other, and they kept on like trying to hit each other. By the seemed like it.
They were pretty much trying to hit each other, and the front one was trying to dodge. And they essentially flew in front of the semi and then went all the way to the shoulder on the right-hand side. And this is a 4 or 5 lane highway at this point because it splits off to 3 or 4 different directions.
Yeah.
And so now suddenly they're in front of me. And then they go all the way into an exit lane, and like one brakes and the other one's like trying not to get hit.
They check each other.
And so then I end up ahead of them, and then they're on my butt, and they're getting really close. So I have to pull off onto the shoulder and like do enough of a brake so that they pass by, and then I can just get back in the lane real fast to avoid getting hit by them. You know, brake to lower the amount of time they're next to me for them to do something stupid.
Yeah, so this entire time, like, I was, once we realized, okay, that they're just completely not doing this right, my entire focus was, what's the license plate number? What's the license plate number of one of the 2 vehicles at least?
I'm just sitting here trying not to get hit by a car and panicking internally.
So, we didn't get the SUV number, but we got the other car's number. So I started dialing 911 to report, like, idiots.
Vehicular tomfoolery.
So this is even strange myself. So we got the license plate number. And
we got put on hold by 911.
I was getting there. So I dialed 911. And it's just like, thank you for calling 911. All of our operators are busy. Please stand by.
I'm just like, it's 11:30 on a Saturday night. How are you busy?
Now, I will say, we were still in Milwaukee County at the time, and it's the busiest county in Wisconsin. So I'm not surprised by that at all. Also around the holidays too. What made it even more hilarious was once I finally got somebody, they actually forwarded us to a different department. In 911.
They moved us to the sheriff's patrol unit,
everything goes to a central. I did a little bit of looking up of this. Everything goes to a centralized 911 call center, and then they route it to appropriate authorities inside their 911 center. So since we were on the state highway, I meant the federal highway, the interstate.
We got forwarded to the state patrol.
No, we were actually to a county sheriff.
Oh.
So county sheriff took over. Now, you would think, okay, I would have to repeat everything I said. Within 15 seconds of connecting to the other person, the initial person, which is still on the call, surprised the heck out of me, relayed everything like I just said, which took about a minute and a half, in 15 seconds to the other person, and then they took over the call. It was like, holy crap, that was super efficient.
They're really good.
I was surprised. So we give all the information. We're like, well, we're on 41 North now. They went 94 West. And we told them the license number, and I gave them my information in case, like, for witness stuff, or if something would happen, they know, well, this occurred, there's a witness. And everything was good, and we hung up. It was just like, well, that was an interesting story. So what's the first thing that we did after that?
Text Atty.
Yes. We have a story for you.
And now she's not here. She's visiting family in some place called Oklahoma.
It's a panhandle state. Everything's fried down there.
I was trying to make a joke, but I could not think about one for the life of me.
I will say that I actually, I do like Oklahoma for certain things.
I've never heard of it, and I've never heard of anything that happened there.
They actually have 2 brand new conventions starting up down there, and they also have Wild Nights, which is their camping con.
Camping down there's gotta suck. It'd be hot. Well, I guess it's dry heat, so it can't be too bad. That's true. Well, now we're gonna be having 2 camping trips in, so our season's kind of expanding.
The one's currently on hold. I'm working on it, but Wilderness is still alive. Yeah, it's because trying to get the nonprofit going first.
If you would like to help go towards creating our nonprofit, join us for camping. We host it in August.
Yes, August 2nd to the 4th is Wisconsin Wilderness Campout.
If you like having me, a bimbling buffoon, host all the events and create crazy competitions and events, please join us for a 2 to 3 night stay at a random camping place in the middle of Wisconsin with a bunch of furries that you probably only met.
That's its rough out. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm talking about Wilderness. It's the middle of Wisconsin.
True. But you were just like randomly in the middle. I'm just like, well, it's rough out travels.
I don't know.
Anyway,
we are supposed to travel.
All the information you need is at wildernesscampout.org. I have a domain problem.
So now I want to spend. We have more things we want to talk about. This episode might be a bit long, but the things I need to tell you about right now is things that he can't explain in a way that really helps himself. He's just going to dig himself a bigger grave. So I came up with this idea for the podcast. I knew he had the equipment, and I was like, hey, let's do some sort of thing that we can kind of have a permanent schedule and, put some responsibility into creating content. So he's like, yeah, that's a great idea. So the first thing he does is go buy a website. The second thing he does...
I bought a domain. I already had the web server.
The second thing he does is buy a P.O. box for...
So I learned something in the process of creating this podcast I did not know about. So you can... My domain registrar I use allows me to protect my who is, which just tells you who owns the domain. They give me automatic who is protection, so they relay it through their own stuff.
But
however, you can't do that with .us domains. So yeah.
So if you're a time traveler and you just learned about this, you can find his address and send him, I don't know.
Oh, I already fixed it. It has the P.O. box now.
Send him glitter. Explosive glitter. No one will question it.
Yeah, okay.
Did it stop recording?
Yes.
Low memory.
I mean, I was close. So, I mean, the other one's still recording, so.
So it'll switch to audio then.
Yeah. Yeah, switch it to audio now.
Okay.
Sorry about that. We'll show the last frame.
Or whichever frame looks the prettiest.
Yeah, right. Yeah, .us domains. So.
Now we'll sound clearer because we took our heads off, and you will never know what we look like.
Whoa. Yeah, we'll have to make sure we have the audio set right, but yeah.
It's still broadcasting fine.
But yeah, so .us domains you cannot use the whois protection. Why? You can only be a U.S. citizen to own them.
I mean,
so
yeah.
It has to know your address. Do it. Okay. I didn't know that, and oh look, my address was out there. I had also my phone number was on there too.
That was funny.
I instantly had 5 or 6 different
spam mails,
spam phone calls right after I registered it.
Hi, we're part of the fraudulent credit card detection system. I don't have a credit card, ma'am.
I get about 7 or 8 of those calls a day.
See, and that's the thing. I don't understand how, because I don't ever get called.
I mean, the thing with me, though, is because of my phone being... A lot of times, services that I signed up for and stuff, they actually either got hacked and my phone number got publicly out there, and then they buy that, or I've had even the state of Wisconsin be like, hey, you're on this publicly accessible list, we're just gonna sell your information. That's where actually I know one of the phone numbers came from that, because they had to tell me, hey, we sold your information to this. Thanks, Wisconsin, you're a jerk. But yeah,
story of my life.
That being said, what else were we going to talk about this podcast?
We have 2 other meets that we went to, and one of them involves Atty, and one of them involves Scarlet. I'd like to start with the one that involves all of us piling into my tiny car and creating essentially a game of Tetris with humans and fluff. Shh, we're gonna get copyright striked.
Get the... But yeah, so we took your car because my car's a mess.
And mine is a PT Cruiser that had the ability to clean itself up a little.
Yeah, so we ended up getting everything in there, but we literally used all the space for...
I had to move. My leggies were very tight to the front console because we had to move it forward so we could fit more.
I was driving, right?
You were driving because that was the only way that we'd all be comfortable.
Yeah. So we're heading up there. I brought the speaker because we found out
last second
that the amplifier that's normally in the room is gone, missing. So I'm like, well, I have that. So I have that speaker I bought for Whispers and Weefers, and I brought it up. We connected, and we're like, "Yeah, we actually have bass now."
And
little, but
and by God, did I abuse it?
At one point in time, I went to go play Joking Hazard with a group, and all I hear is the occasional song change, laughter, and then video of you and Atty both just going to town on choosing songs.
So, since he left, and since Falco left, and since everybody who had any degree of understanding in DJing was they left. So who gets put in charge? Your homeboy Atty and Chewy go get up on that DJ booth, and we spin some mad beats, which pretty much was just Atty on her phone looking up meme music while I put it all in.
That was very true. And
my favorite was when you were in the bathroom and had to send a text. What song was that?
No, I was in the bathroom, and I know Techno Aurora was also in that area too, and he could control it remotely with his phone because it was Spotify Premium.
He didn't do too much. We were pretty much given free reign.
He put a song, and I could hear it clearly from the bathroom. That's how... And I was just like, why?
Who's playing Toto by Africa for the third time?
No, it wasn't Toto.
I know it wasn't.
But it was good. Like, I could look it up, but oh man, that was just like, seriously. And then there was so it was a nice meet. A few headaches, but
people put me in charge of things again.
The dance comp was...
I was told, hey, people kind of want to do a dance comp again like last year. So, who better to put it in charge of than one of the furs that competes in a dance comp? The only issue...
You had no idea what you were doing.
People wanted it to be like Floor Wars.
I had no idea what I was doing.
So, it pretty much evolved into a weird mix of the first round being a dance comp, the second round being Floor Wars, and the final round being Floor Wars Extreme Edition.
What occurred was it was dance comp with a randomly selected song,
which is great.
Which was great because you had to do everything on the fly,
and it was quite entertaining.
So all of that occurred, and like I'm just playing with the lights. I have no idea what I'm doing. Techno is DJing.
me and Techno are just giggling to each other.
Yeah, I put Falco was wearing my head around, and I was gonna last second dance, but I'm like I can't without my head. So what did we do?
We sent him up there and blocked every exit because he didn't want to dance.
He didn't want to dance, so
there were a few, and by a few I mean more than one, times where we forced somebody to be on stage and dance who was voluntarily signed up by somebody that wasn't them. I feel like it may have been a little cruel, but everybody did have a good time.
Yeah.
And Falco had his ego boosted and then destroyed a little bit.
At one point in time, before this all, I just was so tired. I wanted to dance, but I didn't. So I brought a chair out on the dance floor and just started fist bumping into the air. Everyone's just like, well, you can't bring a chair in the dance floor. I was still dancing.
So, here's the thing with the dance comp. So, for the first round, we were going to have since it was about 8 people, we were going to have the top 4 go in, and we were going to judge it based off cheers. So, of course, with me announcing it and everything, we decided to start with me. And nobody understood what was happening yet, so no one cheered.
It was great.
It was kind of sad. It was rough.
Well, the thing that we learned from all of that, though, was we need a better system for voting.
We need a system that doesn't involve us.
Judges.
We need a system that doesn't involve us thinking on our feet literally 5 seconds before the words come out of our mouth.
We didn't playtest this.
We didn't because we didn't think we'd do it.
Oh, you were the one that didn't think you'd do it. I knew it was probably going to be a thing.
You didn't prep me for it.
I didn't know that you were going to be the one in charge of it.
Well, people, here's the thing, and I'm going to be pretty blunt and honest about this. You guys love giving me the ability to do things and be put in charge of things when I have no idea what I'm doing.
You think I knew what I was doing?
But that's why you put me in charge. You have a scapegoat, and I can look confident doing really dumb things.
Not really. We don't scapegoat you. You're just like, okay, I'm fine with doing this, and then you do it, and then you have fun with it.
Everybody finds it funny. I don't think I have an issue with it at all.
But yeah, anyway, so Appleton was fun. We headed back.
At 1 a.m. Pretty much.
Dropped Atty off on the way.
She was a tired otter thingy.
Otter thingy?
She's technically an otter. No, not a sea lion.
Wow, you
Fight me, I'm tired.
Well, I'm sorry that we're doing this at like 12:30 in the morning.
It's 1 a.m. It's 1:18.
It's 1:18. Okay.
Hello
sorry.
From the dark side.
But yeah, so then after that, New Year's Eve.
Was fun.
We went to Madison.
Yes.
Now, I knew for a while what, well, the bowling was a last second thing. So,
yeah, the bowling alley was flooded from summer flooding. There was, if you've seen anything about Wisconsin or if you live in Wisconsin, you know there was some bad flooding this summer.
Well, where I was getting at was, so November ended up being a mess. So we normally don't have a December bowling meet.
Yeah.
What occurred this year, though, was because November was a mess, it wasn't on the organizers. It wasn't organizers' fault. There was just a bunch of kids. We didn't get the entire space, and it just wasn't gonna be fun for anybody at all because they were just running around. So they ended up postponing the meet for a week. But since some people travel around the state, they were like, okay, we're also going to create a December one. Blazger and Frost and Ian and the rest of the admins did a really good job by making it New Year's Eve. Because the bowling alley was planning on being open
till like 1 a.m.
Till 1 a.m. So
what they didn't expect was the first blizzard of the year happening on that same day at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Oh yeah, it was snowing. That's right.
Hard. It accumulated 5 inches over the course of 2 hours, and it didn't show signs of stopping until after midnight.
Yeah. Yeah, because I picked up Jensen. Well, I went over to Jensen's place.
You might remember Jensen from episode 2 where he didn't talk and didn't say anything, but he was in fursuit behind the camera.
Yeah.
He was there in spirit for all of us.
I went over to his place. It was still raining when I went over to his place. And we got everything going and ready to go and put into... As we were about to get into his car, it changed spontaneously to snow.
Yep.
And it was like, oh boy, this is going to be fun. So we got everything into his car, and we're making our way to Madison. At this time, it's almost, at this time it's 5:30. It took us an hour to get from his place. Well, it took us like an hour and a half to get from his place to Madison when it's only 15 minutes normally.
That's pretty good time considering from my house to Madison was 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Well, the funny part about my side of the story is we were like, okay, we're here a little bit early. Let's go to the mall.
Let's go shopping.
At 5:45 on New Year's Eve.
Everything was closed.
It started closing at 6. So we went to the bathroom. Started walking the mall. I kept on looking around like, normally the shops don't close like individually. It's usually a mall-wide closure. There wasn't a sign on the door. None of the doors. There was nothing posted. I didn't see anything. I was just like, oh, okay, everything's closing at 6. So we ran back across the mall to the food court exit. Everything was shut down in the food court. Left out. We're like, well, shoot. So we ended up
biscuits.
Going over to the bowling alley and just hanging out for an hour. And keep in mind, this is 6:15 now.
And it's snowing, so everything is eerily silent.
Yeah, it's snowing, and also, it's the bowling alley. The meet doesn't start until 8. Now,
by this time, we left, and it did not show signs of getting better. So I, being the faithful fiance that I am, drove my fiance's car full of our suits into horrible, horrible weather where multiple people had told me that I shouldn't go, to go fursuit with a bunch of nerds. Because guess what? It's the only thing that brings me happiness anymore. That squeaking was...
I don't know what you're talking about.
You pushed the space bar and paused it. So, Wolfletech, like every smart individual, uses the space bar to turn back on a computer when it black screens.
It's the largest button.
It's also the pause and unpause button for most major control things.
This is true.
So why would you not just jiggle the mouse like an appropriate human being when you want to check something that's actively running?
That's because some of my computers, the mouse actually, when it goes into sleep mode, the mouse actually is disabled.
Well, welcome to a desktop PC.
You want to know what my most favorite key is if I'm unsure to hit?
Tab.
Control. Because it'll wake up the computer and it neglects it. It has to be pushed down for it to do anything.
Fair. But anyways, so here I am white knuckling it down most of the highway, trying to just get to the interstate where I'm hoping it will be slightly less bad, which it was. We were starting to make time by the time we got to the highway, but the snow was also getting worse and worse. It's a miracle that we got there by 8:20, which Wolf was doing something. I forget what.
I even forgot what I was doing.
He was. I'm going to give you a play-by-play, and he's going to have to tell you how accurate it was. So they got there. They sat in the snow for a while, kind of just looking around at how quiet it was. And then they decided, oh, let's go inside. And then Jensen started drinking. And drinking.
Well.
And drinking. And drinking.
Okay, so timing before that was 7 o'clock. I saw Blaziker and Frost's vehicle drive in, and they started going in, and I saw that, the blinds are pulled, things are set up. Maybe I can go in early. Look, yep, I can go in early. So Jensen and I ended up going to get dinner because the plan was to get that at the mall. And, well,
you're a bunch of geniuses.
So while over there, they had specials going. They had a bowl of soup, and also, I got onion strings. So I got onion strings and gumbo, chicken gumbo. Now,
you eat like a king.
The funny part is Jensen's like, gumbo sucks. And I'm just like, what are you saying? Like, he's just like, no, it's gross. He actually has a video on Facebook of being like, and he got loaded fries.
Oh boy.
He's just like, American food, junk. These are disgusting, this is disgusting, good food. And you just hear me defending my food in the background. It's kind of great. So
now I want sushi.
Yeah, so he...
I think sushi places are open at 1 a.m.
Around here, probably not.
Darn.
Maybe Walmart.
I don't want Walmart sushi. Why would you ever, in a million years, drink Walmart sushi?
It's open. Did you say drink or eat?
Yes.
You're tired. It's kind of great.
I'm watching you
Today's
drink
a long day because I've had an interesting day.
I've been watching you drink Gatorade while I was saying that, okay? I was relating what I saw.
But yeah, so, starting to wrap this up now.
We're tired. We're rambling. This will be a long podcast.
So we apologize in advance. You should still like, share, and subscribe.
Tell Wolf you love him. He needs it.
Visit fluffedup.us. Please feel free to send stuff to the P.O. box if you can figure out how to look that address up.
Literally, why don't you post it? You have it. You may as well advertise it on the site.
Because I'm not ready for that.
It's too late.
I don't want to check my mailbox every single day.
It's too late. You have to do it now. You can at least check it weekly.
Yeah, P.O. Box 21.
But yeah, make sure to like, favorite, subscribe.
But yeah, so
tell us your favorite part about our weird adventures and why Atty needs to be added back to the show.
No, she's coming back.
Shh. Don't let them know.
Chewy. Shush. Anyway, just to finish the Madison story now. So Jensen, this is his first bowling meet, attempt to go in 4 years. Mm-hmm. He was gonna go 4 years ago. However, on his way there, he had a motorcycle accident.
That'd turn you off going to cons for a while.
So, he just it's all right. He went now, and he had a blast. Now we did bowling,
a lot of it,
and
in and out of fursuit.
He joined in too, but there was one thing that I was just like, what kept on happening is he was sitting over near the bar drinking his drink, and he would run over a bowl and then run back to the bar. He didn't realize that, because, first bowling meet, and he told me he doesn't really bowl ever at all. He didn't know you could take your drink to your lane. So...
is that really why it was?
Yes.
But he didn't notice any of us bringing out our drinks over?
Well, he didn't put... it's fine.
Fair, he doesn't put two and two together often.
Well, I mean, it's also his first time, too. You've done it for...
I am an anxious ball of fluff when it's my first time at a thing.
But yeah, so that was a thing, and when I told him, you can bring that to the lane, right? He was like, you can? Gavin, behind the desk, was like, he didn't know that? I'm just like, it's his first time.
So, I love Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin is awesome. But yeah, so he got drinking, and we were getting ready for midnight ball drop in the middle of the alley.
I was going to record it. I didn't record it.
Didn't record it, but you got the...
toast.
The toast.
Which you can view.
I always hate how quickly people do that. It makes more sense to slow it down.
Yeah.
Because when you do it... Here's to you, here's to me. I'm just like, what are the words?
Yeah, toast is supposed to be slow so everyone can say it together. You're supposed to say it like a normal sentence.
When I did that last year, at a different event, it was slow, and I actually remembered the words after that, even though I didn't know all of them. So, but yeah, so we toasted.
Over the course of 3 years, I've slowly been learning it.
The people over 21 that drink had champagne, courtesy of the bowling alley.
And I got juice. Sparkling juice.
We both got juice.
It was delicious. I drank 3 glasses worth of it.
I ended up having 2 or 3 because they had extras.
It was really good sparkling juice.
Yeah, it was Welch's. So
hey,
we did the toast. We drank that. You recorded that.
Yes, that is on
well, actually,
YouTube.
Scarlett recorded that.
Of us. So that is 2 episodes down below this. Because there's a live stream as well that I just did today because I was bored.
Yeah, wasn't that with Amicus?
I played a bit of it with Amicus when he caught up. I was playing War Thunder until he came, and then I played Space Engineers and showed off my dumb engineering feats.
I watched for a little bit, and I heard him. I was just like, that's awesome.
Did you see our space or our battleship we were building? I went full Star Wars.
Oh, jeez. I did not. Like I said, I only watched a little bit because I was having a busy day.
I figured that you were... I started doing it figuring that you'd probably watch as something to calm down. And funny enough, I started it on Twitch. No one was watching, and I wasn't doing good at the game I was playing. So I was like, okay, let's just stop this and redo. Play a game that I can actually be decent at. I've made a fool of myself.
You started doing it on YouTube, though, right?
Yeah, well, I usually do them on YouTube because I have an audience there that will actually come and watch.
I was gonna say, I was watching it on YouTube, so...
Like on Twitch, I'll get maybe 1 viewer that'll watch for like 10 minutes. On YouTube, I'll have like a constant 3 with like it going up to like 5 or 6. So like I at least have an audience.
But yeah, so yeah, I ended up realizing that, so after everything calmed down and stuff, you guys headed home after torturing me with horns in the corner.
Did you post that yet?
I don't have the file yet.
Oh, Wolf sent it to me. I'll forward it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I watched. It's really funny.
So, yeah, the noisemakers were just annoying. So, I was just like, you know what, we're just going to torture me in the corner, and that's just going to be a thing now.
Yep. I got that poster board in my car for Aquatifer as well.
Perfect.
So we'll be using that.
Yeah, that's where we'll be next. So after Madison, you guys headed home, made it home safe.
Oh, yeah, the roads were fine then.
Yeah. It took us 50 minutes to get back to his place.
It took us probably
I ended up spending the night because I was just like, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
So, spent the night, woke up the next morning, headed back home.
And much like that, it's time to call this show a night.
Yeah.
Do you have anything for the word of the day, or would you prefer it to be...
Word of the day is B.
For bye?
Bye.
Yeah, bye.
I was going to say birthday, because when this is posted, it'll be my birthday. Yay!
Everybody wish Wolfletech a happy birthday. He's getting old. He's 42 now.
42?
I mean 24. 25. 26.
There you go.
Oh, God. He's old.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be 26. ACA no longer applies to me.
ACA?
I didn't realize I had eye insurance through my mom's health insurance.
Oh.
So I could have gotten new glasses in the last 2 years, but nope.
Why don't you just go get LASIK now?
Because laser pointers aren't good enough yet.
Yeah, they are.
No, they're not.
Listen, if you're going to be cheap about it, you can do it one eye at a time. Then you get to wear a cool monocle.
Oh, jeez.
I do say.
But anyway, yeah, this one's going to be a little bit long.
It's probably an hour. I'm going to be completely honest. It's probably an hour.
Getting up there, but not quite that yet. But anyway, this is Wolfletech.
I'm Chewy.
Bye-bye.
Please like, favorite, and subscribe. It helps me feed my family.
Also follow the Fluffed Up.
Yeah, we have a Fluffed Up Twitter now.
Fluffed Up Cast.
Yeah, at Fluffed Up Cast. It is
also
essentially...
follow Chewy to help his ego. Oh wait, that's a camp out thing.
The Fluffed Up Cast is essentially a horrible idea because we all 3 of us have control of the same Twitter. So it involves us just yelling at each other
through the
account and then fighting each other with our regular accounts.
Yeah, but I'm the one who has the overall access to it, so...
I can log all of you out, and you can do nothing about it. We all have the ability.
I have the email surfer with the recovery email.
I'll figure something out.
Anyway.
Have a good one, guys, and good night. Mwah.